not really tall enough to see me very well. See if I can sit on this thing that I normally would stand on. That's not going to work either. Anyways, you can see what I'm doing without seeing my face. So, right here, I have, let's just show everything, this seed tray that I started seeds in. I had over here pepper seeds, and then the middle section was one type of tomato and the right section was another type of tomato. And they are not all, they didn't all come up real well, but you can see I've got some like this where there's 4 seedlings in there that need to get transplanted, 3 of them in that one. And what I'm doing is transplanting them into these 2-liter bottles that I cut the tops off of, and I'm filling with, I'm filling the bottom half of it with this composted hay that I've got in this bucket. So you can see it's just from a hay pile that's been there a couple years anyways. Throwing the composted hay into these. Got a bunch of them left to fill. And then I'm going to be transplanting the seedlings in there. Just figured somebody might be interested in watching it. I know you can't see my face, but it's just life. Well, alright. A little bit of a mess. But you can't tell what my what I drink all the time. I won't say it's my favorite drink, but it's what I drink all the time. Put manure in it too. Alright. I got guineas right outside the door. They might start making noise just in the garden shed. I'll try and glance over and see if there's any comments. I don't know if anybody's going to have any comments or questions, but mostly what I'm transplanting is tomato seedlings. There are a few of the pepper seedlings that look like they're about ready to transplant. Again, just trying to get these filled up. Let's see. I need 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, shoot. I need about a couple dozen to 3 dozen pots, and I don't have that many. So, just do what I'll get done what I can. Oh shoot, I didn't poke a hole in some of these new ones. I'll have to see. Well, I'll go ahead and do that with this one, because I know I don't have a hole in it. But what I was doing is coming up about 1 inch from the bottom and just poking a little hole in the side. That way it has a little bit of room. It can hold some water and keep the stuff above it moist. These ones that I transplanted before, I poked holes in the very bottom of those, and they don't hold much water. I have to water them every single day. So on these ones, I'm trying to poke the holes about 1 inch off the bottom, and hopefully it'll wick up and keep everything else moist without being able to flood out too bad. Yeah, that one I got done. This one's already got the potting soil in it, so it's good, ready to go. These ones are getting the composted hay in it at the bottom, and then I'll put the potting soil above that. Of course, I just dropped my stack of pots that I'm planting in. Alright, ready to go. Grab those. This shed used to have clear plastic on the roof every other panel, but we had a hailstorm come through and it just knocked a bunch of holes through that, and I didn't replace it with the clear panels right away. I had some other metal that I just through on the roof to cover it. So they don't have that clear roof anymore, but if I'm going to keep using this as a garden shed, I might want to change one of the spots back to that. Anyways, a couple more to fill up. Well, 3 more to fill up, it looks like. And then I will put the potting soil in on top of it and then start transplanting. So where I've got just a single seed or single seedling in the things, where I've got just a single seedling in those little expanded discs, I'm just putting the whole disc, the whole soil disc into the pot, peeling the wrapper off of it and covering it in potting soil. But where there's multiple, I'm going to be pulling them apart. So this one here that I've got ready to go, I'm just going to make a little divot in the bottom. Let's find one that just has one. So this is one of the pepper plants right here because it's in the second row. It actually has a seed that started on the side. So I'm going to set that back down real quick and get one of these others ready to go too. A little. All right. Does this one have a hole in the side? It does. Okay, and this one's got a hole in the bottom. So what I'm going to do is peel the one that was out of the side, just pull it out without getting rid of its roots, and I'm going to just push that down into the soil, make a little divot in the center, push it down in there, and backfill it. It's laying down a little. I can try and stand that up a little better. All right. Let me show you what I got done there. So I just transplanted it like that, and I got to water that in still. So let me pour a little. This is not purified water. I just recycled one of these bottles, filled it with, well, it's mostly rainwater. Just water from our bathroom tap, which gets water from the tank behind the house, which collects rainwater. So just get that one watered in. Hopefully that does okay. I don't expect 100% of these to do really well. I'm gonna set that one back here behind the camera. Okay, so then this one is growing right up out of the middle of it. I'm going to peel this little membrane off so the roots have an easier time getting through it. Supposedly you're able to just leave it intact, but as long as the plant is not growing through it, I want to peel it off. And then I'm making a hole in this, pushing that down in the middle, and putting the soil around it. And so I'm completely covering that soil block that I just put in there, and then I'm going to put some little more soil in around the stem of it. Just pour some more in there. Yes, I'm making a little bit of a mess around this, and then I will water that one too. So that one looks like that. That is one of the pepper plants. The soil block is in there. The roots of this one are still down in that soil block, and the stem is above the soil block, is buried about another ½ inch. Get some water in there. This one's going to leak right out the bottom because it's one of the first ones I did where I put the holes in the bottom. All right. That there. I will set this one behind the camera in front of the window there. It's the last one I can get in that row. Okay, so the rest of these I need to put soil in before they're ready to plant. Move this out of the way some, and I'm going to move this other stuff out of the way some. Get that bag of soil out of the way. So more room to work here. All right, so this tray here, it's got some stuff growing, and I think what's popping up is just weeds because I planted butternut squash, watermelon, and pumpkin, I think. I don't remember. Anyways, they were all melons or winter squashes that got planted in there. So these little things are not what I planted. So I'm probably going to end up just pulling those out. But let's see. Put some of this bagged potting soil in here. And then this one doesn't have a hole on the side yet that I can see. So I'm going to poke a little hole in the side about an inch from the bottom. And again, just a tiny little hole. And which block do I want to grab next? This one's got like 4 seedlings in it. That one's got 4. This one's got 3. This tomato looks like it's just a single. This block just has the 1 tomato in it. So we'll go with this one. Peel that membrane off. Keep that soil block together. Push it down into there a little bit, and then put a handful of soil over it and around the stem. I need a little more on the other side there. Okay. And then I should probably just leave the lid off of that because I'm going to be pouring some water in a lot of these. So just water it in with a bit of water. And I had watered all of this soil block tray right before doing this so that their roots are already really wet. They're in a they're in plenty of moisture already. Okay, put that one there. This one, I've got these pots too. They're flimsy and they're a pain to separate. They came all smashed together. These are more durable. All right. Fill that one up with some soil. Hole in the bottom of it. And I'm actually going to get 3 of them ready and then grab that soil block that's got 3 of them growing in it. That one. Again, poke a hole in the side. Just leave the knife sitting there. And let's get another one ready. That one I didn't get a hole poked yet. Let's do that. Why are chickens always trying to eat dog food? I don't know, but got 3 of my chickens over here at the dog food barrel. A little bit more in that one. Hole in it. All right, so I've got 6 of them ready to go now. Okay, so this soil block right here has 4 in it, but one of them is broken, so I'm not even gonna try to transplant that broken one. I'm just gonna pull that one out and get rid of it. Now, supposedly, we should be able to just pull these out without breaking the roots off, but I can already see there's a root coming through the side of the soil block. So I'm gonna just peel the membrane off the side, outside of the soil block, and then I'm gonna break this soil block into pieces and try and get this one here that's growing off to the side of it in one chunk. Oh, look at that one, grew kind of weird. It grew in a bit of an S shape in there before it came up out of the ground. Anyways, so we'll put that in one. I guess I will put this. So that gives me 3 separate ones. So I've got that one. This one's the fullest, probably this one. I will just shove this one down into that hole I made in there. Cover it back up. It is actually buried almost the entire stem on that one because that hole was a little deep. This one's got about half that soil block. Make that hole a little deeper for the soil block. And try and stand that up. And I'm going to have to add a little more soil to this one. Okay. A little bit more on the other side, actually, to add quite a bit to that one. Okay, so that one's got half that stem covered too. And now this last one, I gotta try and make a hole down in the center of it. All right, try and get the other half of this soil block down in there. And now I definitely have to add more soil. Stem of it, or hold it up so it doesn't fall anyways. All right, that one didn't get planted very straight in the center, but let me show you what I got on those. So that one soil block that had 3, I got this one, and that one. That kind of looks like a pepper seed, where these I think are tomatoes. I think one of the times when I watered them, some of the seeds moved around because I poured too much water too fast. But I'm going to go ahead and water these 3 in and then put them in front of the window. Yep. Don't want too much water to where I hurt the little seedling. Just want to get enough in there that I get that soil I put in there wet. Yeah, if there's any comments or questions, feel free to ask. Okay, and that one. So I've got, that one's not ready. I've got 3 more that are ready to go. And this soil block right here has 3 good tomatoes coming up out of it. So I am going to do basically the same thing I did on the last one. Peel the membrane off, split the soil block in half, and transplant each one of these into their own little pot. Okay, that one stayed with that half. So I'll set that one there and deal with it in a minute. Looks like the bottom portion, okay. Trying to be careful not to pull the roots off. All right, that one there, that one there. All right, so with this one, it's got the roots attached still. I'm just poking a hole down the center of this, pushing that wet piece of soil block down into that hole. And then I'm going to set that stem in the hole, try and hold it upright, and push the soil around it. I know you can't really see it because I got to chase a chicken out of here that's trying to lay an egg on my shelf. I don't know if she's trying to lay an egg or what, but she's been getting in here anytime I leave the door open. So, yeah, come on, get out. Anyways, This one, I don't know how well you can see that, but that was the one that had the root without much of the soil block left. So it's transplanted. And now I've got this one that the root is going into this little piece of soil block. So I'm going to do basically the same thing, create a hole in the center, shove this down into the hole, and then put some more soil around it. Looks like I got it laying down sideways in there, so I got to stand it up a little better. Okay, try and keep that towards the center better. And then this one's got the majority of the soil block. And I'm actually just going to leave that where it's at and add some more soil to it. So I dropped the stem down in there and dropped a bunch of soil on top of it. Hopefully I didn't hurt it. Okay. So that one soil block had 3 seeds, or 3 little seedlings, I mean, and I was able to get all 3 of these. That one, and that one. I don't know how well you can see that. Anyway, so 3 little seedlings are transplanted. And now time to put those in front of the window. Let's move that a little bit. All right, and there. Get some of these sticks out of here. Throw that at the chickens out there. All right, so I gotta get a few more ready. Put some soil in them. Oh, those ones I still needed to water. So I'll go through and water everything again when I'm done. Before I'm done. I don't have enough of these 2-liter bottles out here to transplant every one of those soil blocks right now for every one of those. So but the seedlings in those soil blocks I planted about 2 weeks ago. But I planted them in the house and they weren't right by a window. Now they're out here in the garden shed by the window, and they've grown and sprouted a bit better. Get out of here, chicken. Okay. Looks like one of my daughters is outside in her Easter dress. All right, I might have to go tell her to go back in the house and change into play clothes instead. Those are ready. I got 6 more ready to go. This one has 3, but the one in the center didn't really even develop leaves. The seed got stuck on it and stem, but no leaves. So I'm not even going to bother transplanting that one. But I will transplant the other 2. So I'm going to just peel the membrane off the soil block. Soil there. Sure, that actually split really nicely, right in half. I've got one on each side. Put one right down in there, and the other one right down in there, and then put some more soil around them. Yeah, so I didn't end up pulling out that one that didn't have any leaves on it. I left it. It's actually in this, but it's completely covered with soil now, so I don't expect it to grow, but there is one good one in there that I do expect to grow pretty decent. And then, anyways, the nice thing about having these out here in the garden shed is this shed is not insulated, it's not heated, it's not cooled. So these are basically getting climatized to the outside weather already, and yet protected from the wind, protected from anything that could cause problems. They're protected from the chickens when the door's up. They're protected from the wind. They're protected from the too hot of the sun, whatever, during the day. Anyways, they're able to get some light. They're able to get climatized because they've got the correct temperature while still being protected, is what I'm trying to say. Water that one. And one thing to watch out for when you're watering, which I just screwed up on this one, I poured the water directly on the seedling. I don't know if you can see that. And I knocked that seedling over. So I got to stand that back up, and hopefully I didn't break that stem. There we go. Push that dirt around there to support it. All right. Did I water these? I think I did, but I'm going to put a little more in there. I'm not trying to do a lot of water. I just want them moist. I don't want them flooded. Okay. Put those over here. And I've got 4 more pots I can transplant right now. So I just got to pick some more out of here to work on. I am just, okay, so I didn't expect that. I picked this one up thinking I was just getting this, but it's got a seed that started off to the side too. I think that's a pepper seed and this is a tomato, just looking at a little bit darker, shinier color on that one. So poke a hole right down the center, because that's what I do when I'm just pulling the seeds out. Try and pull this out without breaking any of the roots. All right, it did break, so I don't know how well this is going to, if this one's going to survive real well. I'm going to throw the whole stem and everything in there. And we'll just call that one planted. And then this, you see it had 2, but one of them's already died off, so I'm actually just going to pinch that one off, or pull it out, whatever, and get rid of it because the top had already died on it. And then this one, I'm going to just peel the membrane off the soil block and put the whole soil block in the pot. And okay, so as far as the type of tomatoes, I forgot what type of tomatoes I planted. The peppers are an orange sweet pepper. And there's actually 2 varieties of tomatoes. If I remember correctly, one of them is a small bunching tomato. I think that's the way you say it, where you get several tomatoes growing together in a cluster. They're not as small as a cherry tomato. They should grow about 1.5 inches or so in diameter. And then the other one is a large, like, slicing tomato. And I don't remember exactly the variety. But neither one of them are Roma tomatoes. I'm gonna plan to buy some seed starts from that for those. All right, so I've got 2 left, and I've got this one that's got 2 really good starts in it. So that is what I'm going to plant these last 2. Both ready to go. So let's see if I can split this one. Well, that one's growing through the membrane. That's not good. This membrane was up over the top of it. So I guess that whole membrane there is getting planted with, because yeah, there's no way to separate that one from the membrane that was holding the seed block together. So that is going to stay in the soil. They will decompose. I don't know how long it'll take for those membranes to decompose or how it'll affect the root growth. So I've been peeling them off. Maybe that's not the right thing to do. I don't know. But in this case, that membrane stayed on there because the stem was literally going through the membrane. Okay, that one needs to get watered. This one needs a little more soil. Soil in on the side and let it seedlings that I set down there. All right, that go there, that in there. I'll get them watered. And that's going to be about it for today. That's what I'm getting done. Let's water this one. It doesn't look like it got watered yet. This one doesn't look like it was watered yet either. The one next to it does. That was that little pepper one, wasn't it? All right, is there any more? Oh, there's one more that fell. All right. One more. I've got a little bucket of composted hay. Oh, some of those I forgot to poke the holes in the side. I'll have to pick those up and check them. This bucket has been used for about everything over the last couple of years. It's still got concrete in the side of it from when I was pouring concrete into my block walls. I've used it to carry chicken manure to the garden this year. Used it for this compost. Yeah, just a good all-purpose bucket, I guess. So I'll fill about that full with the composted hay and a couple handfuls, one good sized handful of soil. Let's see if we've got one more that's just one. That should be this one. One nice seedling and a soil block. Go ahead and peel the membrane. Bear, what you doing? Great Pyrenees coming over here to get something to eat. I think the shovel's in his way. Oh, he's good. All right, that one right there. And put some soil around this. Rather spill a little outside than hurt this. They drop it right on the seedling and damage the seedling. There. And some water. Now I'm gonna, since I forgot on this one for sure, and several others, I'm just gonna go through and about an inch off the bottom, poke one hole in the side. I'll just look at them. If they don't have a hole, which I'm pretty sure this one doesn't, like the last 6 or 8 of them, I know I forgot to poke the hole. So, and if they do have a hole, well, it doesn't hurt to have a second hole in the side. It's just for drainage. I want to be able to keep a little water in the bottom so it can wick up, but I don't want it to flood out, so a little hole in the side. Alright. Now, okay, that one's got a hole. I don't think this one does. At least I don't see one. Already has a hole. Okay, so then the rest of them should already have holes. All right, let's put that one right there. So mostly tomatoes, a few peppers got transplanted. And that, we're good. Let me pick up the camera again. See all along in front of the window. This is the only thing I don't know what it is. It came up on its own in there, so it's probably just a weed. See what it is as it grows, and I will probably just pull that out. These others, see, tomato, 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 tomato. This one is a pepper. It's got a little bit darker leaf, a little bit shinier leaf. So that one's a pepper, tomato, I believe, tomato, tomato, This one is pepper, this one's pepper, this one's pepper, and this one is pepper. This one's not as shiny and that one's not as shiny, so I think they're both also tomatoes. I still have all those soil blocks to do, but I got to get a few more, whatever you call them, a few more of these 2-liter bottles. Yeah, I guess that's it. I'm going to put the cover back on these, and I'm going to be done. All right, I see I've got 4 people. Anybody have any 4 people watching right now? Are there any questions or comments or anything? Yeah, I know I'm not as nice to look at as the seed starts are, but yeah, I'm sorry if I didn't do a great job of showing there what I was doing. I was trying to explain what I was doing as I was doing it, but basically taking the soil blocks, putting them in the pots, and watering them in. All right, you guys all have a good one. That's gonna be it. Stop streaming. Okay.